Hello, welcome back to the Atomix project. For this next little bit, I ended up with about 3 hours of video getting the display lines to work, being able to click on them so that we could then do the movement, then determining the win condition. I tried to edit out as much cruft as I could, and believe me, there was like half an hour has ended up on the cutting room floor, but it still left me with a really long video. So what I ended up doing was I ended up splitting it into separate parts, of which this is one. So the next 3 or 4 videos are actually the big long video, but once we get to the win condition, that's it. That's the end of this smaller subsequence of videos. So check out the playlist above, which should be above my head somewhere, for the other videos in this series. But without further ado, let's get started. Quick couple of announcements before we actually get to the code. First thing is, this book is still available, Python Pygame, Raspberry Pi game development, and A-Press asked me if I wanted to get involved in writing another book, and I said yes. And so here's the other one, which is Unity Networking Fundamentals, so creating multiplayer games within Unity. I wrote the first half of this book. I actually co-wrote it with Kajendra, and he wrote the rest of the book. But yeah, I'm super happy with it. I did a couple of examples at the start, so it's all about TCP connections in C#, how to sort of get a weather app, and then there's a tic-tac-toe game in there as well, and then later on in the book it shows you how to create a maze game. But yeah, it's all in here. It's not particularly thick, but it covers quite a lot of ground. But yeah, this is out now. Link will be in the show notes below. Thanks. Decided I'm going to get rid of this bit here because it's not going to be rotated. It's just going to be the size that it is. So I'm hoping that this is... I haven't even looked at the code. I'm not even debugging it now. I'm not even looking at it. I'm just assuming that this will now work because I've not put in the rotation code. If it doesn't, then that's going to be a bigger problem. Okay, so this one here. So when I click on here, we have a collider. So I go to scene. Well, it's a collider. It's just not in the right direction. And each one of these has got a collider on it as well. So collider there. Collider there for some reason, collider there. Oh, that looks right. It just doesn't look wide enough, but that's fine. And then the collider there, which doesn't look right either. So if I click on this one here in the game, nothing happens. Oh, you know why? Because the collider is on another object. That's why that doesn't work. So what I need to do is I need to create another script that bubbles that up. This is getting quite complicated. Oh, this is a bit of a mess. But I think that I can't see another way around it. Okay, so for this one here, let's fix this one here. So the line length is going to be line length, comma that, and then so the size is that. So the start position, end position, line length is that. Line length, okay. That one, because it's the box is that, but it's really like I don't care what where the box is. I just need to know that it's the right thickness. So I think the problem is that like this one here, for example, it's always going to be 1. Well, for now, for depth purposes. So when I run this, and then I select this one here, and I go into the scene, and I choose the collider, the right one. You see that one there, that is the right collider. So that's it needs to go from this edge here. So this is the problem I need to solve, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. Like, the code was a good starting point. I'm going to have to rewrite it though. So this one here, it needs to start at this point here, and it needs to go all the way to here. So this is basically 2, but it's going to go from here to this midpoint here, which is half. So that's actually 2.5, but I can't have it as 2.5. It has to be, see, it's got 2.5 over here. It's got to be 2. And then the waypoint is actually between, is actually here. So instead of 0.175, it's actually a little bit further over. I don't know why that's not gone in there, but okay. Oh, that's the size. Damn it, that's the size. The center's got to change. The x, sorry. The x has got to change to 0.25. Negative 0.25. 0, 0. And then everything else is fine. So we just need to change whether it's the x value or the y value, we just need to change that. And then that should work when you click on it once we add the script. Okay, so here's the plan. Create a new game object collider. Actually, it's just a collider, box collider. Create a new box collider. Set its transform to be the distance to the endpoint minus 0.5. Set the width or the height to be 1, and we need to determine which one is which, and set the height of the width to be the distance between the start and the end. And then we're going to have to figure out the distance between the two. Click the add the clicked script to the new collider. So creating the new box collider is dead easy. We can just do collider equals actually let's keep the game object, game object collider. So let's say collider equals new game object call.add component box collider. Our box collider equals that. And now that we have that box collider, we need to set the width of the height to be 1. Now the width or the height is going to be 1 depending on whether it's vertical or horizontal. If it's vertical, the height is 1 because it's 1 unit wide. And if it's horizontal, then the width is going to be whatever the value is. So you need to determine the distance first of all. Well, actually, sorry, we need to determine whether it's horizontal or vertical. So we're going to say var vertical equals, and then it's going to be the direction. Where did I choose the direction here? Oh yeah, I need to figure out the direction first of all. So var direction equals end minus start. Oops. Dot normalized. Var vertical equals direction dot, and then it's going to be either well, actually it's going to be horizontal equals math f dot absolute direction dot x is greater than 0. So if it's on the horizontal, we're going to have an x shift, and x is going to be 0 if it's on the vertical direction. So now we can say set the transform to be the distance to the endpoints, set the width of the height to be 1. So I can say var width equals horizontal, set it to be 10, otherwise set it to be 1. And I can say var height equals horizontal. If it's horizontal, then the height is going to be 1, Otherwise it's going to be some length. I'm just making it 10 just now because I want to see where that's going to go. And then I need to add this click script. So I'm going to have another script in here. So where's the best place to put it? Public game atom. Let's call this new item clicked. Public class clicked mono behavior. Public event handler clicked. Public vector 3 direction vector 3 oh okay let's call it click void on mouse up as button click invoke this direction. Okay, like super simple class, just really simple. And then we're going to say add the click script to the new collider. So we're going to say call dot add component click clicked dot direction equals direction, and then we need to do clicked plus equals line clicked. Actually, we just want to invoke that, don't we? So we want to say clicked. Oh, that's not going to let us do that, is it? So let's do object line clicked. What did that give me? Okay, nothing good. Let's get rid of that because that's wrong. Why is that? Oh, okay, that's why. Line clicked, and then we can say clicked invoke this e. Okay. So with all that, I'll go back and just review that in just a sec. Let's make sure that's all righty. So we do that, click on that, and that gives us our two things. Click on scene. No, that did not add. Oh, that's why. Hold on a minute. It did not add that there. So if I do where are we? Directions allowed. Direction lines. Okay. Nope. This one, sorry. What I need to do is add that to the game object. So we do call dot transform dot parent equals transform, and that sets the parent to that. Or we can just do call dot set parent transform dot set parent transform, which is a little bit more modern Unity than setting that there. And then click on that, and that gives us our new game object, none of which is actually in the scene. Are they all over there? Okay. So let's see what happens when we click on that. Let's hit that there, and we'll do a test here. So direction is 0, 0, 1, which would be down, because sorry, Z, which would be up. In fact, let's check and see where that is. So call stack is there. We're adding it to there. Add line, add line. So this is adding it to forward, which is right. So that is calculating that right. So the width of this is going to be whatever horizontal is. So horizontal is false. So the width is going to be 1 because it's a vertical operation. So the width is going to be 1. And the height is going to be 10. But we haven't set those values, that's why. We also haven't set the offset as well. And I've got a funny feeling that the offset is going to be not the same. So if I go to game object, transform, okay, position is 0, local position is 0, and then the position of this is 0, and the position of that is 0. Oh, so it's got to get set to the start position. Okay, that's fine. I can do that. After a bit of work, I got it down to this. It's not perfect, and I'm pretty sure I could make it a little bit easier to read, but essentially what I'm doing is I create a new object, I add a box collider to it, I find out the direction and the horizontal, which I don't actually need. I don't think I actually use that. I use the direction, but I don't use the horizontal, so I can probably just get rid of that. I then determine the X and Y size, so whether it's a tall box or a thin box. I then set the width and height based on that. I then add a click component, and then I set the parent to be the current game object, which is the trail, and then I set the position to be the start position plus, and then halfway between those the start and end points, and then I set the size here, which is the width and the height. All of this works. It works pretty well. There's one thing I was going to change though. Oh yeah, there's a double bounce. The other one is I want to get this here. I want to say call.getComponent clicked minus equals list line clicked, and I think this is what's causing the double bounce. So I want to basically unhook it from there, and I'm going to do click is that. So I want to say when you click on that, you want to remove that there, and then what we got here. So we click on the top one. See, it's still doing the double bounce, but you can see that it's doing 1, which means it's going in the up direction. And if I do, if I clear that, and then I press this one here, you see that it's going in the leftmost position. And similarly, if I do H here and I press that one, you see it's going up, and that one is going down, and then this one is going right, so it should be positive on the X, which it is. You can see that there. And then this one should be negative on the Z. So all of this is working. I'm going to have a wee investigation as to why it is double bouncing, and I'll get back to you. Find out where the double bouncing is coming from. So it's this line here. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that out of there, and I'm going to say when we start up, then we're going to add it. So I'm going to say void start for our line in lines. Do that. What? Oh, for each. Okay, get my languages mixed up again. For each line in there, for each line in there, and then we add that to there. So now, instead of getting all these double bouncy things here, and the way I was testing it was basically I was hitting that one, that one, that one, that one, and every time I was doing it, it was multiplying by 2, and I was like, oh well, that's just weird. So when I click on this, I get 1 hit, and I click on this, I get 1 hit, and then so on. Okay, and then that's 1 hit there, and that is 1 hit. Okay, that's good. Continued in the next video. Don't you hate it when people do that? Keep an eye out for the next part of this video, and it's going to be out next Thursday. I hope you've been enjoying this series so far. Thumbs up if you did, thumbs down if you didn't, and let me know in the comments where I can improve. If you've got this far and you like what you see, please consider subscribing. Hit the subscribe button and notification bell, and you'll get timely reminders of when I post a video up next. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.